Cuba's President Raul Castro arrived this Friday in the Mexican city of Mérida to meet with President Enrique Peña Nieto. The visit is focused on business and migration after a recent increase in the numbers of Cubans arriving in Mexico. Mexico is lining up more investment projects in Cuba than any other nation in Latin America, and it could reap major rewards from helping to reverse the effects of the over half a century of U.S. blockade and animosity toward Cuba.
We are pleased at the interest Mexican companies have expressed in doing business and investing in Cuba, especially in the Mariel Special Development Zone, in sectors like agriculture and tourism. Mexican experience in these areas is recognized and constitutes significant support to our current process of modernizing our economic model.
Investors from our country can see in Cuba's modernization of its economic model the opportunity to contribute to the strengthening of economic relations between the countries, investing over there in Cuba and at the same time creating jobs in both countries. In Mexico, we value the new opportunities that are arising in Cuba, and we want to be an ally in this process of change and opening up.
We now go to our correspondent in Mexico, Clayton Khan, who has been following this historic visit. Hi, Clayton. Good to touch base with you. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Can you give us the latest on Raul Castro's visit? What did he and the President Peña Nieto talk about, and what agreements have been reached?
Well, Reagan, today both Castro and his Mexican counterpart Peña Nieto met in the government palace of the Yucatan city of Mérida, where they held a meeting and later signed 5 bilateral agreements. Like you mentioned, the 5 points primarily focus on trade, business, and migration. However, the two leaders underscored the need to work together in tackling the issues of human trafficking and to establish new migratory frameworks. Now, the two leaders also seek to strengthen education ties between their respective nations and to foment greater tourism. They also signed an agreement to establish clearer regulations and cooperation in the shared fisheries off the Caribbean and Gulf coasts.
Thanks so much, Clayton. We'll touch base with you another time. We'll follow up further on this historic visit. Thanks again.